Okay, if the four of us here in this episode were a Yakuza crew, what would everybody's roles be? Craig's like the knife licking one.
Yeah.
You know how there's always a knife licking
one
Yeah.
that's a little too aggressive, right? He gets killed pretty immediately. Yeah.
Is Craig like the one like would have like a cheetah print jacket and an eye patch?
You're asking if Craig is Majima from Yakuza in
Yes.
particular?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
God, I fucking hope so.
Yeah. Niamh, I feel like, is sort of like the Yakuza elder who's like very calm and collected. She's got like a snifter of some sort of drink at all times, always has a cigarette, improbably so.
Yeah, it's like a supernatural cigarette. It's like constantly smoldering in an ashtray, but it never burns out, you know?
Right.
I just have like a constantly slightly tired air about me. And there's like a weird homoerotic tension of like, I'm going to leave at any time, not because I'm like against the group, but just like whims of fancy. Like I'm just done with this.
Yeah.
But in like a gay way. Like it's
At any given time, Niamh has her own movie happening, like in the middle of another movie.
Yeah, it's just like a cutaway to me, like doing some other play in like a whole other part of the city.
Right. Jennifer, I feel like you might be like I feel like you could be the emotional center of the movie. I feel like it could be your journe.
Oh, do I die at the end?
No, they don't always die at the end. You don't have to die. I mean, you can if you want, but you don't have to die at the end.
We're not going to take death away from you.
Yeah. Doesn't everyone want to go out in a blaze of glory? Isn't this what the whole movie's about?
Yeah, but like you don't have to have your blaze of glory until like the 7th movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a franchise. Then yeah, I want to be cashing those checks.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a franchise.
I mean, look, if it's a movie, like a franchise that's spanning like 8, 9, maybe 10 movies, if you die in the first movie, like we'll find a new role for you, like by movie 3.
That's actually
Just
true.
come back in, you're a whole new character now.
Yeah, you're like Laura Palmer's cousin. You're just back in the movie.
No, this character has an eye patch on. She's a completely new woman. Don't even think about the previous one.
And then you die, and then you come back again, but the eye patch is on the other eye.
Yeah.
That's 3 lives right there.
I die and then I come back again. I have 2 eye patches on.
No, I think this franchise has legs. Hello and welcome to SWIMFANS. This is your number 1 action movie block for the summer. This is SWIMFANS Full Clip. I am your co-host, confessing my unrequited love in an elevator. I'm Josh McKenzie.
I'm a Tea Party and Western I'm a Tea Party, Victorian dress, and vivisection enthusiast. I'm Craig Neeson.
I'm a hastily edited out man's ass, a black bar censorship, whatever. I'm Jennifer Hawking.
I am a clown balloon that's like sporadically inflating to lift up a sign. Niamh Schönherr.
In like a really melancholic way, shockingly.
Yeah.
That, like, we can talk about it. Yes, this is co-host of Ghost Divers, Ornate Stairwells, Pondering Pootan, Around the Long Fire, Niamh Schönherr. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. I'm also sometimes on Tubi, the Ruby rewatch podcast, where they're watching through Ruby again, but it's my first time.
Free on Tubi. Free on Ruby.
This is spelled the number 2, WBY.
This week on SWIMFANS, we are talking 1981 Shinji Somai film, Sailor Suit and Machine Gun.
Just do it.
Okay, so if you have not seen Sailor Suit and Machine Gun, this is a Yakuza movie. The plot revolves around Izumi Hoshi. Okay, so stay with me here. The head of the Medaka family, who is a small, sort of struggling Yakuza crew, dies, and he wants his nephew to run the family, Takashi Hoshi, right? So he's like, this is going to be the successor. However, coincidentally, the same day, Takashi Hoshi also dies in what looks to be a car accident, which makes his like middle school daughter, Izumi Hoshi, so like 14-year-old girl, in charge of the Yakuza. The Medaka family, they come to her, they're like, listen, you have to be our boss. And obviously she's like, no, I don't want to do that. Why would I want to do that? And they're like, okay, well then we'll go die. Like, we'll literally go out in a blaze of glory, you know, sort of like wrapping up loose ends and ending the family here. And she's like, well, don't do that. I will instead become the head of this family. So, you know, meanwhile, she's going through quite a lot. As I said, her father died. And a woman that she does not know named Mayumi like moves into her house. Mayumi claims to be the former lover of her father and, you know, lets Izumi know that she is there to sort of like take care of her now that her father has passed. Izumi does not care for Mayumi at all, but she sort of just lets her be. As she becomes more established with the Medaka family, she returns home one day to find the entire apartment trashed, like absolutely ransacked. Everything is sort of fucked up and ruined. The family, you know, they're hearing through like the Yakuza grapevine here that the bigger families in the area are behind it because Izumi's father was not a traveling businessman as she thought, but was in fact like a drug smuggler, particularly in this case heroin. So like the bigger gangs in Tokyo are trying to get their hands on the heroin for you know, multiple reasons. You know, there's a cop, Kuroki, who begins to sniff around. And at first, it seems like a lot of this is sort of all like sort of a disconnected mayhem until the Medaka members begin dying. Hiko, the young, excitable one, is the first to go. He shows up at the studio, sort of you know, beaten to death, interrogated or whatever. Then you know, they lose another one. They just open the door and get shot. So like they're, you know, the other families are moving in. They really want this heroin. There is a much more powerful boss called Fatso. I don't know why. He is neither fat or anything that we would associate with that nickname.
There's a lot of notable things about him that he is not.
Yeah. Interesting
There was about
choice on
7
that
other
name.
nicknames. He's the head of the I believe the Sandaiji family. And his whole thing is that he wants the heroin because he just loves to see people suffer. So he wants people in Tokyo to become addicted to heroin so that they will have withdrawal symptoms and go through intense agony. So that's kind of his whole deal. And, you know, he seems Sakuma, who is sort of like the second in command of the Medaka family, you know, he is unable to get an audience with Fatso here to try to like figure out what's going on, how to protect Izumi, the new boss, all of this stuff, until it's revealed that the woman that he has been sleeping with not only is Mayumi, the woman who was living with Izumi, but is also the daughter of Fatso, right? So this woman who sort of feels anecdotal now, you know, she's become quite central to the plot. So after Izumi is kidnapped by Fatso and his crew, they're torturing her with like landmines. Like psychological torture veering into physical torture, I guess. Mayumi shows up and she's like, hey, let's call it off. I know where the heroin is. Stop torturing everybody. So you know, she saves Izumi. They have like a strange Victorian tea party on the Japanese seacoast there. And you know, it seems like maybe they can put this all to bed until you realize that the police detective, Kuroki, who Izumi thought was on, you know, the side of the cops, is actually dirty, working for Fatso, and, you know, he has killed at least 2 members of the Medaka clan. So where we are is that the Medakas have been cut in half. And these two bigger gangs are moving in, and the heroin is still nowhere to be found. The largest clan, whose name I forget, finally kills Kuroki, gets the heroin, and at this point, Izumi, she's just had it. Oh, Mayumi kills her dad. That's not really part of the plot. She kills her dad. So the whole Fatso gang is over. But the end of the movie here is that Izumi and her two remaining gang members, Sakuma and Masa, make a move on this largest gang who have the heroin now. She does the titular machine gun type situation where she sort of like kills a lot of these people and like puts the fear of God into the rest of them. But she loses one of her last guys in the process. So this is sort of like the last nail in the coffin for the Madakas. It's just her and Sakuma. So they do a funeral for their last guy. And Sakuma's like, look, I'm going to move to the country. You can go back to being a schoolgirl. I think we've, sort of preserved the Madaka legacy here. Let's all move on. So the epilogue to the movie is that... Izumi's back to being a teenage girl, going about her life, and she realizes she gets a call that Sakuma has been killed in like a Yakuza like street fight. Like he was trying to apparently break up the street fight because he was back in Tokyo and doing something nice, being a good Samaritan. He got killed. She, in that moment, I think, sort of realizes that she might have been sort of in love with this older man, so she kisses the corpse on the lips. And the last scene is this sort of long... mostly silent scene where she's like walking through the streets. She now is, acting quite a bit older than she did earlier in the movie. And she plays mobster or whatever with a bunch of kids on the street. Sorry, that was a bit long, but there's a lot that happens in this movie. What do we think about Sailor Suit and Machine Gun?
Well, one, I thought that this was going to be a little bit more of an action movie, having not seen it in forever.
Yeah.
I provided a list of like potential action movies. I just now looked at that list again, and I think that this was by far the least actiony of any of the options. I was just like, I kind of remember that. I don't entirely remember what happens in it. It's an odd movie. I feel like it's straddling this weird space between like an old style of Japanese studio, where it really starts kind of just being like a rote Yakuza plot. Except that there's like a high school girl or middle school girl or whatever. There's an idol playing the Yakuza boss. And that's like a little bit of the tension at the beginning. But a lot of the stuff just feels like, oh, okay, you're just like doing the thing that was in the 70s. And they made 1 billion of these. And then it just like progressively gets more and more delirious as it goes on. And it begins to move into like what's going to be coming down the Japanese cinema pipeline of just like weird independent stuff that's going to give way to like V cinema as a genre. And so I find it kind of fascinating because it just feels like it's teetering between like these two very different styles. And the whole experience of me being like, oh, okay, this is just going to be like, kind of complicating the Yakuza genre. Halfway through, not quite halfway, but like almost halfway through, I was just like, oh, we could have like also watched The Clan's Heir as a trans woman, which would have been basically the same plot, except instead of a high school girl, it's a trans woman who's like named the heir. That movie's great. It's a lot of fun. The director is extremely Chaser ally vibes. He literally had sex with a trans woman and enjoyed it so much and liked her so much that he made a movie about how trans people should have rights and chasers should die protecting trans women. And I'm like, oh yeah, brother.
All right.
Okay. Ally of the Century Award.
Yeah, I was like, the chaser energy on this is off the charts. But also like every single chaser character in it dies protecting the trans woman. So like, if the meaning is chasers should die to protect trans women, sure, man.
Yeah, just know your place.
Yeah. But yeah, it then just gets weirder and weirder. The whole sequence of like the torture, like Fatso is just like a weird supervillain type of guy. And it just like the cuts between spaces become disorienting. It's just like we're in a weird secret lab that's like the torture chamber, and then it just cuts to the beach, and it's like basically a shot from a Shuji Terayama film, and then it just cuts to like they're running through some sort of facility that is like German expressionist hallways with like weird doors that just gives way to and then it just gives way to like a tokusatsu hospital room. And I was like, I don't understand this movie, but I think I'm enjoying it now. So
her being crucified on like a Lego cross or something, like the abstract chunky cross was wild.
So in the end, I enjoyed it for just how I feel like throughout the course of it, like I took drugs or something. Like I just lost what it was doing, but I enjoyed it more.
I loved this. I thought this was really fun. I read a quote. I'll have to find the source for this now, but I read a quote about how the sort of genre trappings of a Yakuza film are so interesting because like they're so incredibly rigid that they become like infinitely flexible. Right, like you can like because these sort of parameters Yakuza film exists in, they are such a box that no matter what you throw into this box, the box will stretch to accommodate the object you've thrown into it, preserving the integrity of the box. And I think that is a wonderful description for what we are watching here. It does have like tokusatsu vibes. The acting from the like 4 like really pleasant scenes before things get sad of the Medaka family are like really over the top, really like animated type guys. And, so like you have like that sort of vibe. You do get this sort of like weird surrealness in the middle end of the movie when they're at like the pain pervert gangs like laboratory. So you do have a, kind of like a different movie there. And then the rest of it feels very like almost bog standard, but a little girl is in charge. Which is really, really fun. I think the whole thing really works. I thought their contrivance to cast a child as the lead of the Yakuza family would like, they didn't like dwell on it very long. And I'm like, great, I don't want to think about it anymore. She's in charge. It was just enough to make it like logically possible. And then we didn't hang on it any longer than that. I really liked everybody, really. Like I loved Sakuma. I thought he was such like a great, like classic Yakuza guy who's like, I don't know. Like he doesn't get a ton of characterization in the movie, right? But I like that he has like he seems to be carrying a lot of pain or something, or just weary from the life. And he has that very classic sort of hangdog vibe to him. I think the relationship that Sakuma and Izumi develop is sweet. Like I think it's relatable as a former child that she sort of develops romantic feelings for him, and I feel like his feelings towards her are quite paternal. So like I enjoy their relationship. I think they have a sort of a fun dynamic, and I even like that it turns into like I don't know, like Yakuza Dr. Mengele for a minute. Like I'm not really sure how we got there, but it's he's like excited to do like a new autopsy on these people in just the ugliest dresses that I've ever seen in my life. All of the raggedy ends to this movie for me totally work. I think this is a lot of fun. Oh, but like I wish there was more machine gunning. That's maybe my issue.
Yeah.
We can go into it.
I think I appreciated this one more than I enjoyed watching it. I don't know. I got the sort of like the plays on tropes it was doing. So I guess I assumed it was going to be more of like a comedy, because like the premise is like a comedy premise. Like through Air Bud rules, a girl just sort of becomes the leader of like the worst Yakuza clan in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
And like that, I don't know. It sounds like that would be like a pretty clear cut setup, with the potential for shenanigans, and that doesn't really happen. I mean, it gets like weird and surreal with the torture stuff, but like by the end of it, it's kind of just a straightforward Yakuza movie to me. And like maybe it's just I haven't seen enough of them, but like maybe I would find more I liked in like a rewatch. I don't want to sound like too down on it. I think there is a lot to love here. The lead actress is like really, really charming. And her four like goons are all fun to watch in their own individual ways. It's shot really well, but like I also felt like the long take, because this movie's almost entirely long takes, and I at a certain point I really thought that might just be slowing the pace down to just be, I don't know, just not super what I'm into. But I didn't hate it or anything, but by the end I wasn't entirely enthralled with it, I guess.
I had fun with this. The cinematography I think is like really fascinating for something that's so invested in the characters. It's like refuses to get close to any of them. Like it's shot wide like the whole time, like the whole fucking time. Mm-hmm. And like at first I was like, this isn't really working because I can't get close to these characters. But then it had a swerve to it. Like the scene at the end when they're, her last standing goon is, they're burning all of the kind of, ephemera from, the Yakuza hideout or whatever. They're on a rooftop and they're just like, walking around and burning these things and having a conversation about like, are you going to return to civilian life? Is it going to be okay? Can you survive as like not a Yakuza? I was like, oh fuck, this is like really like beautiful, like really like poignant and like tender. Mm-hmm. And then there's like and then she's also again crucified on a ready-made Lego set. And there's like comedic things like, I mean, my God, the getting like tied in the most like gentle way and then slowly dipped into liquid, like very very wet concrete, as though one were like a human tea bag, was like I don't know. There's something like this film works to me as movies like this like tend to work for me. Is like they're like it's a beautiful kaleidoscope of images. Whether or not there's like a compelling like through line or a narrative, I don't really care so much about. What I have been treated to is just a collection of like images and scenarios that are expressive and wonderful. The sudden Mengele or like his Fatso's office, which I fucking love and I covet, where he's like projecting films at the door that you enter through. Or like
yeah, you need that.
I truly need that. That would fix me. Everything shot wide. Everything. There's just like really brilliant, dramatic moments like peppered through this thing that also gets to be like a little silly. The moment where she's tending to one of her goons. I keep using the word goon, but shorthand for her rider dies. When she's like tending his wound, but then he kind of like, like spontaneously leaps to like kiss her, and then he's like deeply embarrassed, and then he gets fucking murdered right after. There's just like a lot of interesting like kaleidoscopic images here that I think accumulate to something that is remarkable. I don't know that I've ever seen anything that's like tonally like this or contains images like of this like scope and variety,
Yeah, I think that the because it's impossible to not notice how this movie is shot very wide and with very long takes. So I feel like I'm somewhere between Jennifer and Craig on this. Like, I really wanted them to cut in because I left the movie not really knowing what most of the characters kind of look like, which considering my my need to look, especially at guys in suits, that's not my favorite artistic choice. I would like to have seen their faces more. But you do get the scene. I agree that the long take on the rooftop was quite pretty. There's a lot of those scenes that I think are really nice, but like countering that with the when they're in the autopsy room and Mayumi's gonna shoot her dad. I really, really wanted them to like do like a reverse shot or something there. Like it's supposed to be kind of a moment where Mayumi like takes a little bit of control back from her dad, and I guess I kind of wanted some shots in there personally. So you do get some hits with this sort of strategy for filmmaking, but overall I would have enjoyed being a little closer to the characters, I think. But I think it does sort of add to sort of the strangeness of the movie, which I think is maybe the most unique thing about it. So
yeah, I was thinking maybe this isn't interesting to talk about, but like Ozu films, right? The tatami shot that he like invented, quote unquote, where it's like, it stays level, it's 50 millimeters, it's notionally at like a character's eyes, and we're seeing an individual like in again, usually in very sparse like domestic settings, and I think this movie is functioning in a similar way. We're seeing these apartments and these like locales and these they're I don't know, the characters are grounded in this like very big world that seems to kind of like dwarf them. I mean Ozu was tight and like you got to see expression and closeness when he like felt like he needed to, but like this is just like they're small, they're small in this very big world, which again I was like I had friction with it first, but then it was like, this is fine. I'm okay with, like, I know this movie's heart now. It's just gonna be wide. Like Tokyo's a big place, and it's like she's just little. she's little.
She's just little.
Yeah, I there's a degree to which I think at first they didn't entirely take notice of how much there were wide shots, and it really wasn't zooming in, because that happens to some degree with Yakuza movies where like you're just going to shoot this entire scene in one take. Like you just have the people get onto the stage and do their lines, and then you cut, and then that's the scene. Because a lot of them are just, relatively low budget, and you're putting out like 3-4 a year. Some of those series that go on for like 10 movies span like maybe 4 years.
Yeah.
And I think there's a degree to which like this is probably operating in a somewhat similar space. I don't entirely know what the budget was like on this movie, but there are times where it feels like it was probably relatively low, which would also make sense. Like just Japanese cinema was going through a difficult time economically, as just a lot of like this movie's getting made in part because youth culture isn't going to the cinema. They're choosing other forms of media, and Kadokawa, which is the like large company that owns the like idol group that the actress is in, and then also like produces this film, and then I think it's Toei distributes it, but like they're getting her in here specifically to try and get the youth into seats, right? They're trying to get like kids who like idols to come and watch her be in this Yakuza movie. And so there's like a degree to which I think there's just this economic factor in the way that this is being produced and shot and everything. But it also feels like the director or like the cinematographer is embracing like the really long take, long shot, just like wide, as like a thing that existed in those older studio movies, and is just like fully embracing the aesthetics of that. I find it really fascinating how a lot of the stuff that felt low budget also felt weirdly intentional, which is not always the case. Sometimes something feels low budget and like they're really straining at the budget and they wish that they could do more. And this felt like it was very happy with like, I want to embrace the aesthetics of what these kinds of low budget movies are, and like lean into them and see what else I can get out of them. So yeah, I enjoyed that quality. It made me want to go back and also rewatch Typhoon Club, which is another movie by the same director. That's not a Yakuza movie. But I remember also having sort of a weird, slow, like lots of wide shots, and just like moments of weird contemplative energy. So I'm curious how that one will hit. But overall, like, again, at the very beginning, there was a degree to which I felt like, oh, I've just seen a Yakuza movie like this so many times. With this is just has the one complicating factor of, it's a like teenage girl who's the boss. And in some ways it was like, it feels like it's not messing with that more. It's not doing the like joke of it as much as I thought it was going to. And it was specifically, the whole plot remains just like very rote Yakuza plot. But it has a little bit of that like Tokyo Drifter spice of, everything is so formulaic in the Yakuza genre that you can just get wild with the aesthetics and the style and the like other things that you're doing. And so I became far more interested in just like what the fuck is going on with like, this mise en scène or like with the cinematography here. And at a certain point I was just like, I don't give a fuck what's happening in the plot anymore. Like I know that the like bad bosses are going to get killed. Like I don't care anymore about any of that. I've seen the plot of this so many times, but like, what the fuck is going on with just like this space? So yeah, that was a lot of the stuff I enjoyed in it.
To that end, like I feel like the spaces in this movie are so, I don't know, they're bespoke. I think that Izumi's like house is really pleasant. It has like a real cozy feel to it, pre and post ransacking. I love perhaps one of my top 3 favorite scenes in the movie is when after the Yakuza office gets shot up, they redecorate it to be like, this is what a little girl would like her Yakuza office to look like. So it's like covered in doilies and like these like reproduction Victorian telephones and like all these 4 adult men are like, put the red flower in the middle and the white one on the outside, and she'll love this. And like it's, I don't know, it's super funny. But like even like the more sort of scenes that aren't really about the space, like when Kuroki is like interrogating Izumi at like that cafe, it's really, really beautiful. Like the interior of that, and it's shot through like shot from inside to the outside, so you see through the window and you can like see like a road and there's like greenery, and it's I don't know, just all the in, and of course, the crookedy door hallways. There's so many like delightful spaces that feel so intentional, and even the banal ones feel really lived in. They don't feel random. They feel designed somehow.
There are 2 shots in particular that I keep thinking about. There's one where it's just Hiroko like walking towards the camera in the city, but there's just like weird reflection effects happening or something where like the whole bottom of the screen is just weird and blurred. And I was like, I don't know what this shot is doing here, but I love how it looks. And then in like a very different vein, when Fatso is introduced and he supposedly does not have legs below like his knees. And he's just like, you see him walking in with the cane, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is like a guy who's just like, the actor's just walking on his knees. And then later in the movie, he's like, take my legs, and his like henchmen take the legs off, and he just stands up with his like, he was just wearing the fake, like the thing that I was like, oh, I think he's wearing weird fake legs to look like he's missing below his legs. And it's just revealed in the movie that's true, so that he can stand up. And I was like, I think I love this movie now.
Yeah, because it's such a fun like weird touch, because like when he gets up to do that, you would expect if a character is pretending to not have legs below the knees, there would be like a reason, right? Like there would be like a some sort of action that he can take now that he's revealed that he does in fact have legs. That doesn't happen. He's just standing up for fun, and I'm like, yeah, go off.
Standing up to do vivisection more accurately. It's
yeah. But it's like a gotcha for no reason. It's great. Did this idol do a lot of acting before or after this?
Yes. Yeah. So Hiroko did, I think, like 4 or 5 movies before this, with like 2 of them as a leading role, and then did a number afterwards as well. I know that there's like, I forget exactly when it happened. There was a period where she like wanted to take some time off so she could finish her schooling. And apparently it was like a major issue for the studio, because they were just like, fuck, we're gonna lose our star and we don't have like another star. But yeah, I think she still shows up in movies and stuff sometimes.
Oh yeah, she's had a huge career actually.
Oh, she does like somebody in the live action Blue Period movie. What the fuck?
Was she like an art teacher or something?
Yeah, Masako.
Yeah.
The first art teacher in the manga Blue Period. I didn't even know there was a live action Blue Period.
No, I whenever somebody, this is completely unrelated. Whenever somebody makes artwork about art school, I tune out entirely. Like I saw the movie that was the one that was based off the Daniel Close graphic novel,
Art School
Klaus.
Confidential.
Yeah, hated it. And then the other year Animation is Film, there was a Chinese animated movie that actually looked really nice, but it was about like Chinese art school, and I'm sure there was probably like things in it that were nice, especially because I think it was a period piece from the 90s, but I'm like, I don't want to watch a movie about art school. Sorry. So I don't know what it is about that topic, but I just tune out. Anyway, so I haven't seen anything about Blue Period. Is where I was going with that.
I've read some Blue Period, and at the beginning is like him trying to get into art school. And the amount of like detail the author is just like giving you research on art school, like, exams and like acceptance rates and everything. It's just always funny when you read a manga and you're like, oh, you just like got really deep into researching this topic, and now like this chapter is just explaining it.
Yeah, you don't want that research to be left on the cutting room floor. So here
I'm like, I know so much about the exam process at Japanese art universities now. Anyway, the best part is the part where he takes a summer off and just teaches like little kids, like at an art camp. That part was great. But I don't know if
that actually does sound cute.
Yeah, it's mostly a sports manga, but the sport is trying to get into art school.
No, see, that makes me depressed. That depresses me somehow.
And then you get into art school, and then you're like, fuck, I got into art school, and I have to go to art school.
Well, because I'm thinking about all the tropes I love from sports manga, of which there are many tropes I adore. And then you're like, yeah, but they're painting. I'm like, I would rather die than read that. like I'm imagining like the main character earning the respect of his rival or whatever, but it's like fucking sculpture, and I'm like, this is depressing to me. I don't want to hear about it.
But it's their 18th hour awake, and you're telling me something hot-blooded happens at 3 a.m. the night before an assignment is due.
Yeah.
Maybe if we didn't go to art school, we would find it more romantic.
Yeah, maybe.
See, art about being an artist, or like art about art. I love like Craig watched Station 11, which I think is really a beautiful piece about the power of art to bring people together. But if it's about art and education, fuck off, die, don't talk to me. I don't want to experience it. But about this movie, but about Sailor Suit and Machine Gun, I really did. It's a small part of the movie. It's not even. It has nothing to do with anything. Obviously, I really responded to the scene with Masa and Sakuma in the elevator. I thought it was very sweet. I thought it was very bittersweet in a way that I don't know. You would have to make a bigger statement about this now. Like, it couldn't just be what it is. But there's the scene where Izumi's like, "Hey, Mas, I've been wondering, are you gay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm actually in love with this guy who's like, a foot and a half away from me. Can you believe that? Like, you have no idea how much it hurts to have unrequited love." And Sakuma just like says nothing, like he just stands there, like he's not hearing it. I don't know. I just think I think that's really nice. I thought it was I think it's probably at least a partial send up of just like how faggy the genre is as a whole, right? Like so many Yakuza movies have this homoerotic edge to them because it's so many like emotionally repressed men like grasping at each other. So like a lot of them just have this sort of undercurrent to them. You know, I like that in this movie, like they say it. It's not. I don't want to say it's not a punchline. I mean, it's not, but that's not why I like it. There's something really relatable about that, where it's just he doesn't really get any catharsis from it. Masa's not really a character, so you wouldn't have thought like, oh yeah, that guy's gay the whole time. Like he's just one of the 4 guys that are all kind of similar to each other. But I don't know. I like it. I think you would probably not get that in a similar movie like this today, or if you did get it, it would have to be there would have to be more about it, or it would have to be lampshaded more or something. And in here, you're just like, yeah, I love this guy. We were cellies. He doesn't want to like be with me. And then we do machine gun violence. I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was bittersweet and tender. I guess my last like really like major point is I think I mean like I'm glad that it's not more upsetting, but like I think like the torture in this movie is so strange. It's very landmine focused, first of all, which I think is an odd way. It's an odd way to torture somebody. It's just strange because I don't think landmines have like a big like visual presence in like a visual medium necessarily. So maybe it's in the book that this is based on, and that's why they leaned into landmines. I don't know.
I was trying to, because like a lot of it is just in his narration about, you know, not moving a muscle, or despite the fact that she's like flopping all around on them.
She's moving every muscle.
I know. Yeah. That shit should have blown up.
But yeah, I was like, is there something here about like, you know, when you are young and you're growing, like you have this desire to like continue to change, that also ties in with the like going back to being a civilian at the end or whatever, and the like torture of being forced to like not move. But that was just me like, I'm really thinking about why the fuck is it a landmine?
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, you're really trying to be like, make the landmine make sense. And because these scenes are so wide, like when she's standing on like that weeble wobble, like in the middle of this cavernous torture room, I'm like, I mean, I guess I don't look at pictures of landmines that much, but I'm like, I guess that's probably a landmine.
Red flashing lights.
Yeah, the neon was a dead giveaway. That was a landmine.
She's building her core while also trying to survive.
Yeah.
I do love that the one she is allowed to leave thanks to Mizumi's intervention. Later, I think it's like during the tea party, it's like, yeah, if we don't get that heroin back, you're going back on the mine. it's like
yeah, it's back to the mine for you.
It's like, hell yeah, dude. Like, I mean, just, yeah, that idea that like a fucking like just dyed in the wool like sociopath. It's like, no, you know, the Yakuza guy doesn't want to like, you know, control vice. He doesn't want to make money. He wants people to suffer from withdrawal. It's such a specific type of evil, you know.
Yeah, he's like a Cenobite, really. He's just like, I have to harvest pain,
and tonally, nothing has given you that, right? It's not. It's suddenly we're on the island of Dr. Moreau, and I'm there for it, of course, but like, you know, it's just again, it exists in this kaleidoscope of just like funny fucking things that are said and done in this movie, you know?
Yeah, because the Madakas are like apparently so traditional that like it's actively hurting them, right? They've hired a teenage girl to be their boss because she's blood related to the old boss, and then like the biggest gang is like corporatized. You know, this is the way of the future. And then you've got the pervert gang, and these are just sickos who do things for the sake of pain. They don't actually want money. they just love bad vibes. They're reptilians and harvesting negative energy from the planet.
It was also funny that the big triumphant ending is like, give us the heroin back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The teenage girl should have the heroin. Also, the whole thing about like the heroin is like dissolved into shampoo. I'm like, I don't think you can use the heroin anymore.
No, you can't. So I had questions about both landmines and heroin while watching. I think if you've dissolved heroin, you can't then undissolve it. And then furthermore, can landmines like be turned off remotely? I mean, maybe they can do. I don't know a lot about landmines. I kind of thought that once you stepped on a landmine, it was kind of over. So I was a little bit confused about.
No, I think it's once you. I always thought it was when you step off the landmine that it explodes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the variety.
That's at least his whole speech.
Yeah. I mean, and that's
Right.
the thing is, sorry, when you have a super villain, it's like, you know, when he's like, yeah, I fucking put that in like the shampoo bottle. She's like, genius, where I would have never looked. Like, it's like, okay, I guess that does work. You can just liquefy your heroin.
Yeah. Can you still do it after it's become like a sludge?
I mean, like,
I
No,
think
you're
if
gonna.
I think if it was just in water,
yeah.
you could like boil it off and get it back to heroin. But it sounds like she then mixed the
it with,
slurry
like,
of water and
lotion.
heroin with shampoo. And at that
Yeah.
point, like, you need advanced chemistry to get the heroin back out.
Yeah. Right?
But this heroin is not only is it giving me an incredible high, it's also like I'm taking like leave-in conditioner. It's like my hair has never been softer and bouncier.
My veins have never been cleaner.
My veins are so voluptuous.
Yeah. I'm also okay because they describe the package of heroin as like not big. You know what I mean? Like because early on Kuroki's like, we're looking for a package about this size, and I would say he moves his hands in the way that I would say is about the size of like slightly bigger than like a Super Nintendo cartridge, right? Not a large package. And she's like, nope, haven't seen that. And then they're like, yeah, this is 10 million yen worth of heroin in this package. It just seems like maybe the anything about heroin wasn't researched before the writing of the script. But I love as a MacGuffin. I like that it's like, yeah, fuck it, it's heroin. We
never see it. It's simply spoken about. It's just
Right.
It's never reclaimed. It's still in that apartment.
Yeah, you feel incredibly good every time you shampoo there.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's like a lot of anti-drug stuff in Japan where you'll just see stuff from Japanese media where it's just like depictions of someone smoking pot and they're just like getting apps like just high in ways that you don't get high when you smoke pot. What's the name of that clamp drug, legal drug or whatever? Which I think
I remember that manga. Yeah.
I think it's just about marijuana, but it's like so ridiculous.
Yeah, it has like a naive quality to it that I think is pleasant. Yeah, it is weird. Sorry, now I'm just realizing it is weird that like the heroin doesn't come back up. It just stays there.
But again, see, that's like where the movie works for me. Is because like I don't care about like the narrative thrust. It's like as long as we're like moving along, I'm kind of fine with it.
I kind of didn't. I kind of assumed I missed or like I just misinterpreted something that was the end of the heroin subplot, and I didn't really think about it too much. Like it didn't matter.
She asked for it back in the office that Craig needs, and then shoots everybody, and then presumably they get it back.
Right.
Like using cheesecloth to try to like filter and fucking back out.
Yeah, that's how you get started in the Madakas. You've got to like turn the heroin from shampoo back into something injectable. Maybe my final thought, and this is back to filmmaking, which I guess is sort of out of order, but I do like, it does this a few times, notably at the cafe where it's Kuroki and Izumi, and then Izumi and Mayumi. There's like these shots of like a two shot of two characters talking to each other, and then there's like this really long truck out that covers like a minute and a half. So I think that's really nice. I think those are examples of when this sort of long take filmmaking really works for me. Like in one of those, it like starts on Izumi and just pulls all the way out until it's like a medium wide of the cafe. Or the one with Mayumi is really cool because the bar has a mirrored wall. So it's like a two shot, and as it pulls out, you can see that Mayumi and Izumi are looking in different directions in this very interesting bar. It feels very narrow and like intimate in there, but they're, you know, I don't know, being disaffected women in Tokyo in the 80s. And so I think those long truck outs are really nice. Those scenes felt special for that reason. That's my last note.
I did also enjoy the weird clown balloon. It like startled me the first time it moved. Because it was very static at first. But that shot also, it feels like they're leaving. The shot is them leaving the like enemy, you know, Yakuza headquarters that they just shot up or whatever. And they're having this little conversation. And it just like kind of sadly and lethargically rises up and like lifts the sign and then falls back down. And it does this a few times. But then they seem to just like go into a door down the street that's their headquarters. And I'm like, wait, were they like, was I supposed to assume that they traveled and now here they're outside the headquarters? Or was like literally the enemy headquarters like around the corner? But it was great. I love that shot a lot.
Fucking like
Yeah,
rival dry cleaning places.
No, like I said it earlier, but there really is something shockingly mournful about the silly like Irashaimase clown just like lifting lifting the sign up and down. There's something I don't know, sad about it. I like that.
I wonder what it says. I mean, it's so front and center, right? Like it's what you're paying attention to. It's obviously legible, not to me. I don't know. I can't fucking read kanji, but like
yeah, the one at the end,
yeah.
right? Like right before irashaimase. That's what they say when you enter like a Japanese restaurant.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I think that's sort of one of the secret cool parts about this movie is that I think it takes things that aren't shorthand for certain feelings and gives you that feeling with them. So, you know, for a movie that I think in a lot of ways is just a bog standard Yakuza movie, it does have a couple moments where I don't know. I think they were cooking. Someone was cooking somewhere. Any final thoughts?
Oh, sorry. I do like there is a nice solemn moment where she returns to the apartment after having been like, you know, fucking kidnapped or whatever. And the couch that the cop fucking cut up has been like like artfully taped back together.
Yeah.
Little touches like that were, you know, really fucking special. You know, again, it's that idea of, you know, perhaps like a limited budget, but nothing feels like they're cutting corners. It's like, yeah, you're now like in this apartment that was just like fucking ransacked. Yeah, there's something like melancholy and yeah, there's a lot of feeling here. A lot of mood setting through like subtlety, like objects, like a little clown guy. Or a cut-up chair, or like a fire that's burning on top of a roof. You know, just
yeah,
delicate things.
I really loved it as like an aesthetic object to just sit and watch, especially once it like really got going. The beginning had a little bit less, but then I still am like, but then what does any of it mean? I have like some ideas, but
Yeah.
yeah, it makes me want to go check out other stuff from this guy and just be like, is it the fact that he has to like do a book that's just a bog standard Yakuza plot that he can't like go further with what he's trying to do visually to like tie it into the story or what? I don't know. again, I've seen Typhoon Club before, but not for a while either. I forgot it was the same director until like literally today. I was looking up other stuff he did, and I was like, I should go watch that. I bet that. And then Tokyo Heaven's another one that I've heard good things about but haven't seen yet. So I might like check those out and just see if he's left a little bit more to his own devices. Maybe does something coalesce a little bit more, because this felt so.
Yeah,
it felt. It's not like his first movie, but it's a very early movie. And I know a lot of his later stuff too. He was really influenced by like Pink films and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where he goes. I want to like check out more of his stuff. Just be like, is this like a weird fluke? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a huge box office success in Japan. Like,
Yeah, this
they
is like
loved the
like a
girl.
pop cultural landmark, I think.
Yeah.
For this era. I think like just I haven't seen as many Yakuza films as like you or friend of the show Joey Weiser, but I think just like the tropes just work for me in a way that like even if I've seen them before, I'm usually enjoying whatever I'm seeing. I have a lot of patience for it, I think.
Yeah. Yakuza movies are great for my Fujoshi heart. 'Cause
Exactly.
They're full of repressed dudes, all of who want to fuck each other.
Exactly.
I believe this deeply. And they're also just all kind of about how having a job sucks.
That's so true.
Sonatine, baby. We love it. 5 on 5.
It's one of the best. Fucking hate the labor.
I hate the labor, but I'm in love with my coworkers. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I gave this 4.5 stars. I think this is I really liked it.
3.5 for me.
I gave this 4.
I gave it 3. I don't know why it was shot like this.
What did you say, Niamh?
I gave it 4.
3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. I don't know, 3.5.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for listening, listener. We have
a question.
Oh, fantastic! The pleasures are coming.
Don't say it like that. Question from Naji Kirima. Thoughts on Park Chan-wook's Vengeance trilogy. Also, thanks for the dark comedy recommendations. Jam completely rules.
I think I've only seen Oldboy of the three there, so I like Oldboy. Sorry, I liked Oldboy quite a bit. I'm sure that I think I've had Lady Vengeance on like my to watch list for ever. Things keep happening to me, Naji Kirima. I'm sorry. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I've seen Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Oldboy, and I think I actually like Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance more. It's like it's similar, and it's kind of like twisty, turny, moral ambiguity thing, but I don't know. There's something just deeply compelling about it. And I like Oldboy as well. It's not that I dislike it or anything.
Yeah, Oldboy. I like Oldboy. I've been not watching the other films for 15 years. You know, like I've seen that. Like when I had like fucking Mubi, I probably saw it. When I had Amazon, I probably fucking saw it. You know, and I just was like, you know what, not right now. And I've been doing that for for like half of my life.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you put Oldboy on to go to sleep.
Right.
At night,
exactly.
So.
I need people to get hammered to death.
Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance was one of the few movies I actually did watch on Mubi on like the month and a half where I had it.
Yeah, right. I simply chose no every time.
It's really good. It's like actually exceptionally good.
Have you seen them, Nia?
I've seen Oldboy and Lady Vengeance. I like Lady Vengeance a lot more than Oldboy. I'm like mid on Oldboy.
Yeah, Lady Vengeance sounds good. Maybe I'll watch that later.
Yeah.
Gotta see it.
Yeah, sorry. I'll watch them. We'll get back to you, Naji Kirima.
Maybe this might be the push Craig needs to watch the other ones.
Just being guilted. Yeah. I need I do need to be guilty.
More people write in shaming Craig for having not seen them.
They're like looking at my to watch list on fucking Letterboxd and being like, "Well, when you get to that, you fucking bitch."
Yeah,
We
new
noticed
movie
your
or
watch
Satyricon
list
again.
number is going up and not going down, Craig. We're gonna need to have a conversation.
It's more like new movie or Prometheus again.
You okay, buddy?
That's kind of bleak, man. You're right.
That movie slaps. I don't know what the fuck.
It's okay. I mean, I didn't hate it or anything. I never felt compelled to go back to it, though.
I frequently think about a guy who told me that his favorite movie was Prometheus and his favorite anime was High School of the Dead. And I was like, you are a very specific type of dude.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah to that guy.
That guy's
What
his own
year was it?
microgenre.
Wait, what
It's like
year
your
was
favorite
this?
anime is the one where she dodged her tits dodge the bullets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, Nia, what year was this?
Oh, when the fuck did Prometheus come out? It was like a few years after that.
Okay.
What,
It wasn't
2014
like it wasn't
maybe?
like someone in like 2022 was like just like, no, those are the ones.
No, it was like 2015.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
The art of animation peaked with High School. Thank you for the question, Najikirima. We appreciate it. If you have questions for us, if you want recommendations, please do. Please do that. You can do that on Spotify, on the episodes there. You can do that, I don't know, by the email. You can do that by Craig's Instagram DMs. Any way that we will get it to the three of us, we will talk about it on the show. Thank you so much for listening. Nia, thank you for coming back on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
Can we plug all of your shows again here at the end of the episode for people to listen to?
Yeah, sure. If you go on Bisky, which is what I call Blue Sky, I'm boxmomnia.exportodd.io on there, and I have a pinned post that has links to my 4 main podcasts. The 3 main podcasts that I'm on over there are Ornate Stairwells. That's my movie podcast, where we have a weird running bit where we rate the stairwells in every single movie. And at this point, we have like deep opinions about stairs in movies. I also do a podcast called Ghost Divers, where we watch old anime. And then I have a podcast called Pondering Putan with Achichiro Taro and Hachimitsu Boy, which is my highest concept, lowest effort podcast. We are reading through the manga Cromartie High School at the same rate that it was published in the weekly magazines. And then I also have a podcast over on the Abnormal Mapping Network, Around the Longfire. The link for that is abnormalmapping.com/alongfire. And it started out as an Icelandic saga podcast where we were specifically reading Icelandic sagas. I would say now it's mostly classics, but also we did the entirety of Fassbinder's Berlin Alexander plots.
Hell
And those are most of my podcasts. Also go listen to Tubi, but I'm barely on it. And you can totally find it on Mubi. It's available on Drooby.
I'm screaming. Thank you so much for coming back on. You can find SwimFans wherever you get your podcasts. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen. Please rate, please review, please follow us, please subscribe, please all that good stuff. Send in a question if you have a burning thought for us. And you can find the podcast on social media, Blue Sky, Instagram, Letterboxd. That's user SwimFans Pod. Give us a follow over there if you like. And I am on all those same spots, user Amons, AMONNS. I just saw Naked Gun, the remake.
Oh.
I thought it was funny. I don't have like a ton of, I know this is like a bad thing to say or whatever. Like, I don't know if you're like a millennial, like I don't have a ton of nostalgia for the original Naked Gun movies, but like, I thought it was funny. I liked that it was like kind of absurd comedy instead of the kind of comedy you get now, which are mostly about a guy getting dumped. So that was refreshing. And Pamela Anderson is so back between this and The Last Showgirl. 2025 has been full of Pamela Anderson. Love to see it. Jennifer.
You can follow me on Blue Sky, diatron5.swimfanspod.com. I'm on Letterboxd Diatron. I watched a lot recently. I don't know. The Haunted House That Kills You movie was pretty entertaining. There's a scene in it where it's like near the end of the second act, and the main character reflects about her violent dad, and then she says, "Well, I grew up in a haunted house of sorts," which is pretty good.
You might say my house was pretty haunted.
Yeah. It's just like you could see the screenwriter just like reaching for anything, to
Sure.
tie it back into the concept of a haunted house. Yeah. 3 stars on that. Your mileage may vary, Craig.
You can find me at Craig Neeson on Instagram and Letterboxd, CraigNeeson.com. I saw Together, the Little Franco movie. I have a whole Letterboxd review of it. I do want to point out something that I left off. When we audience sat down for the film, there's a scare in the beginning, which I won't kind of give away. And somebody laughed, and the other person said, "Shut the fuck up." But here's the thing: like, the movie continues on with that weird ambiguity of whether the scary thing was supposed to be funny at the same time. So like initially I was like, "Yeah, shut the fuck up," but then the movie kept doing that, where it was like really uncertain, like what the desired reaction was of the audience. Was it shock or to laugh? And apparently was driving the audience to want to fucking harm other members of the audience. It's fine. It's like design. It's like weaponized and designed to like fucking like spawn discourse about heterosexual relationships, and I'm like not even like wanting to engage in that. But it's fine. I had fun. I think it's a really fun movie.
Craig is like, now that I'm in a heterosexual relationship, nobody needs to talk about it. It's good, actually.
Case closed.
Let's end this conversation now. I, Craig Neeson, have solved this.
It's actually based to do this now, so
We're back on top, baby.
Can't wait to see it. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.